Okay, good morning, everyone. This is week 4 of our mini Olive course, Path to Education, Training and Employment. And this is our last week. So we had 3 weeks, 3 sessions before. Today is week 4, which is our last session for mini Olive. And today I'm going to take you very quickly through what we have learned together in the last 3 weeks. And then I'll give you some ideas about how to plan for your next steps in the next 3 months, 6 months, a year, and in the next 2 and 3 years. If you have any question, just feel free to switch your microphone on and ask your questions, or you can type your questions in the chat box. Okay, so we started by saying that the aim of the program is to help you, first of all, to understand where you are in terms of your current situation, your qualifications, your work experience, and then your language level. And based on that, when you understand what is your current situation, then you can start planning for future. So the next option was to give you ideas about the type of options do you have, academic options, vocational training, and work experience. And then to help you to plan for the next actions that you're going to take. So today it's mainly about planning, and hopefully through these 3 steps, you would be able to achieve your goals, being that going to university, going to college, improving your English, or finding a job. So we started with options, situation, options, and then having goals and the steps that you need to take to achieve those goals. And if you remember in the first session, I suggested that you need to have plans, because if you don't have a plan, it's very difficult to achieve what you want and to get where you want. You need to be patient, because these processes like learning language, going to college, having qualifications, applying for university, going to university, these are time taking. So you should be patient, and then you should have perseverance in terms of you need to keep working on your plans. Hopefully, in few months or in a couple of years, you are going to see the outcomes of your hard work. So always have these 3 P's in mind: plan, patience, and perseverance. Just to give you an overview of what we've learned in the last 3 weeks, we learned about the UK education system, we learned about the undergraduate and postgraduate studies and application process for each of them. We also learned about vocational qualifications and different types of vocational training options that you have, being BTEC, apprenticeship, or NVQs. We talked about the UK job market and the application process. You need to find a job, you need to apply for that, you need to have a CV, you need to fill the application form, and you will be invited most of the time to an interview, and all being well, you will be offered a job. So it's very important to understand the application process, also being how to prepare yourself for interviews. I'm going to give you a quick recap on each of these in the next few slides. From the first week, which was about education, so hopefully you understand the education system here in the UK. I think we have the slide here. So this was the slide that we use for the education system. It's based on different levels from level 1 up to level 8. And if you want to apply for any qualification at any level, you need to have the previous level. So you need to pass the previous level. For instance, if you are planning to go to university, which is level 4 or level 5, you need to have a level 3 degree. If you are planning to go to college doing a level 3 course, you need to have a level 2 degree. And if you remember, We talked about that if you have finished high school in your country after 10, 11, 12 years, that's equal to or equivalent to GCSE or similar to GCSE. You are here in level 2. You need to start planning for level 3. And when you have your level 3, like A levels or access course, then you can apply for university, which is level 4 and above. And sometimes you can apply for university courses with foundation year. So have all these options in mind when you think about your higher education options. So you can have GCSEs, then going to A levels, but instead you can do BTECs, access courses, and so on. If you have any question about these, you have access to videos from previous sessions. So you can just go on our YouTube channel, watch the videos. You have the slide presentations for each week. So go back, you will find the information that you need. There are more links in each slide presentation that you can follow for more information. But if you still need more advice and more support, you can just send me an email. We went through the UCAS portal, which is the best place if you have any if you need any information about any course. So just go on UCAS portal, find search for the course, search for the university, search for the subject, and there you can find all the information that you need about undergraduate or postgraduate courses. We went through the portal, the UCAS hub and the application portal, and I showed you the steps that you need to follow to submit your application. Probably you remember that the deadline, if you plan to go to university in September 2025, the deadline for application is end of January. So you need to activate your UCAS hub, complete your application, and submit it before the end of January to be considered for a university offer. Also, we've learned together that if you have refugee status, you don't need to be that much worried about money because you can apply for, in most cases, you can apply for student finance. And you can use a student finance to pay for your tuition fee, for university costs, as well as the living expenses. If you are asylum seeker, if you are still waiting for your asylum claim to be processed, then you don't have access to a student finance, but there are universities who offer scholarship for asylum seekers. And you hopefully remember the webpage, STAR, Student Action for Refugees, the STAR webpage where you can see the list of universities and the different types of scholarships that they have and the application for process for each one. But the important thing is that if you plan to apply for a scholarship, you need first to apply for the university itself. So you need to finish your application process on UCAS, and when you have the offer from that university, then you can apply for a scholarship. But beyond that, you need to improve your English because yes, you need to have level 2 or level 3 qualifications to apply for university. But at the same time, you need to prove your level of language. And the best way of doing that for many courses is IELTS. But again, IELTS is not the only option. You have other options, especially for undergrad. You can look at ESOL or functional skills level 2. So many universities, they accept level 2 or functional skills ESOL qualifications for undergraduate students. So hopefully you are in a college course at the moment, but if you are not, please go and start ESOL or functional skills at the nearest college that you have access to, because that's important. It's if you plan to go to university, or even if you plan to go to college, first of all, you need to improve your level of English. And the best option at the moment could be for you to take IELTS, to take ESOL course, or to take functional skills courses at a college. So when you have these two, so when you have your qualification and the language qualification or proof of your language, then you can apply for either college courses or for university courses. And then the application process, again, if you remember, was through UCAS. It's not that difficult. Again, if you go back to videos for week 2, I think, you can find the video where I showed you how to do the UCAS application, which is not, as I said, it's not difficult. You need to just fill the form. At this stage, before the deadline, you don't need to have your all the documents, or even you don't need to have your language certificate ready. You can submit your application, and then you will have a few months' time to finish your if you are doing A level, if you are doing GCSE, if you are doing access course, you will have time until probably midsummer to have all the documents ready for accepting your offer. Then we talked about the fact that not everyone wants to go to university. So some people prefer to go for vocational training, for job-related training. They want to take some college courses, like courses in healthcare, courses in technical courses. I'm not sure, like computer courses, plumbing courses, electricity, gas engineering courses, and they want to take these like short-term courses and go to the job market. And for them, we had different options in terms of doing BTECs or NVQs, and these were the best options if you are planning to here the vocational route. These are the best options if you're planning to go to the job market as soon as you can. And the good thing, if you do, for instance, if you do BTEC at a college, the good point is when you finish your BTEC, you can start working. But in 2-3 years, if you decide to go back to university, then you can use your BTEC to apply for university as well. So don't think that if you go through vocational qualifications, there is no way of going to university. Go for BTEC, then you can use it for university courses as well. Again, if you have your refugee status, then you can apply for advanced learner loan or bursaries, or some of these courses are free of charge even, but don't be worried about the financial side of it. But if you are asylum seeker, unfortunately, some of these courses are not available to you at the moment. So hopefully when you have your refugee status, then you can apply for BTECs or NVQs using advanced learner loan or bursaries. Again, if you're thinking of those options, go back to last week, week 3, we talked about the application process, how to find them, how to apply for them, and different types of BTECs or NVQs that are available at mainly provided by colleges. A very good way of finding out more information, if you're going to college, just ask someone in your college about if they have any BTEC or NVQ courses, and they can give you more information. Or if you're not going to college at the moment, you can go to the nearest college in the city or town that you live, and just ask about if they have any vocational course such as BTEC, NVQs, or any other vocational training. So the first one academic, the second one vocational and job related. But again, some people may have some experience from back home. So they worked for a few years in a particular job, and they have that experience, and they don't need to, or they don't want to go to university or to college. They want to start working. And there is no problem with that. Don't think that you should necessarily have a qualification from here, from UK. If you have experience, And so, for instance, you worked as an engineer in your country, or as a nurse in your country, or as a healthcare worker in your country, and you know that you can work here in the UK, and you have that confidence and experience, then go and apply for jobs. So you should find jobs online through many websites that probably you are familiar with some of them, like Indeed. So find a job that you have experience in, apply for those kind of jobs, and then you can make kind of progress in your work as you learn more experience here in the UK. So these are the three main options: academic, vocational, or you can start working and having more experience and improving your work situation, applying for better jobs with better payments. Last week we talked about the UK job market as well. So like I said, the application process for most of the jobs, it doesn't matter if it's like a job in, I'm not sure, in Tesco or McDonald's, or applying for a job in like an office job, or applying for a job as a nurse or healthcare worker. So most of the time, the application process has three main steps. So the first one, you need to find those job opportunities. And here in the UK, most of the jobs are available. Job opportunities are advertised online. So there are many websites, as I said, like Indeed, that you can go and search for jobs. So that's the first stage, finding the job. Then there is the application process, and the application process could be different from job to job, but mainly you need to have a good CV, and you need to fill an application form. So that's the second step. If your CV and application are accepted by, or they see that you are a good person for that job by the employer, then they will invite you to an interview. So the third step is the interview process, and then if your interview is successful, then you are going to be offered that job. So these are the three steps: find the job, apply for it using your CV and application form, and if successful, you will be invited to an interview, and if successful, you will be offered the job. So, which means you need to be prepared first, knowing how to find a job, how to search for jobs. Again, if you need more information, go back to the video for that week. 2, how to write a good CV and how to fill an application form, and we talked about that in detail. And 3, how to prepare yourself for interviews. So during the interview, they are going to ask you a few questions, 3, 4, 5, 6 questions, and you should be ready to answer those questions. And those questions are most of the time about you. So it's not about the job that much. It's mainly about you. So you should be able to talk about yourself and talk about your skills. So why do you think you are going to be a good care worker, or a good gas engineer, or a good nurse, or a good GP, or a good dentist? So as you learn English, try to practice how to talk about yourself and how to explain your experience, your skills, your qualifications in English. And these are, again, we had one session on this, and these are the main skills that you need to show you have when you write an application form, you fill an application form, or when you go to interview. And most you have already all of these skills, I would say. Okay, these are the skills that you learn when you go to school, when you go to college. So if you worked in the past in your country, you have most of these skills already. But the point is, you should be able to explain them, and being able to explain them in English, first of all, and then explain them using examples from your past experiences. I would take you just very quickly through those skills. So the first one is business awareness, which means if you apply for a job, you should have some understanding of that job and that sector and that business. So if you apply for a nurse, for a nursing job, or if you apply for a healthcare worker or a care worker. So you need to have some understanding of NHS system or social work or social care system here in the UK, just to show that you understand how the system works. The second skill is communication. And by communication, the first thing, it's not just about language. So you should have some level of language that you can communicate. It depends on the level of job. In some jobs, you need to have a higher level of English language. But in some jobs, you don't need to be that much fluent. As long as you can communicate, you can understand others, and you can speak with others, that's enough. So you should have communication skills, not just verbally. It's not just about speaking, but there is a need for some writing as well, and being able to read, because in many jobs you need to read some, I'm not sure, some papers, emails, guidelines, booklets, and you need to write email to someone probably. So communication skill is something that you need to have, which you have, but you need to be prepared to talk about it. Entrepreneurial enterprise, which means you are good in, especially if you're planning to be self-employed, or you're planning to run your own business, you need to be able to manage the situation. Information technology and IT is important, so you should, in many jobs, they want you to be able to work with, at least to be able to work with your mobile phone, in terms of sending messages, sending emails, reading emails on your mobile phone, reading text. And in some jobs, it's about working with computers, laptops, typing, reading, writing from screen, or reading using the laptop, or typing using a laptop. So those at least basic technology skills needed, and most of you, I believe, you have those skills because you already work with your mobile phone, with different types of softwares. And today we are here, and you are using your mobiles or your laptops. You're using Microsoft Zoom, or you're using Microsoft Word, Zoom, and other types of software. So you already have a basic IT skill, but you need to be able to explain it. Numeracy, math, working with numbers. Again, most of the jobs, they require you to have basic knowledge of math and how to work with numbers, especially if you're applying to work, I'm not sure, in a shop, in supermarket. You need to be able to do the basic calculations and working with numbers. Next one, number 6, is problem solving. And again, when you work, it's very normal. It's very common to come across some issues, problems every day, even in your personal life. Every day we have some type of problems that we need to solve. Sometimes these problems are not that difficult to solve. Sometimes they are more serious. So you need to be able to solve problems sometimes without help from others. And you do this on a daily basis. But the point is, you need to show how good you are in solving problems in your workplace. Number 7 is resilience. And resilience means if you have a difficult time, you are good in bouncing back and keep working under pressure. So resilience is about coping with difficult situations. And again, you are the very fact that you had some challenging situation in your country, difficult life in your country, and then the whole journey to become a refugee shows that you have resilience. You are very good in working under pressure and making decisions under pressure, and keep working on your plans. But again, you need to practice how to talk about your resilience. Self-management. So most employers, they want you to self-manage yourself in terms of managing your time, managing your workload, managing your relationship with others, and so on. Again, you need to show that you are self-managed. and you don't need someone else to manage you, basically. Employers do like workers who are good in self-management. And then the last one is teamwork, because in most of the jobs, you work within a team. So you have some colleagues, you have some managers, you have some line managers, and so on. So you need to work with other people. And having said that, you need to show that you're a good team worker. And probably in the past, if you worked in your country, you worked within a team, which means you have good experience in teamwork. But again, you need to practice how to explain your teamwork skills. So these are the 9 main employability skills. Every job advert that you see and you read, they want some of these skills. When you go to interviews, again, they ask about these skills. If you practice how to explain your experience, your skills in relation to each of these skills, then when you go to interview, it's quite easy for you, but it needs practice and preparation. Again, go back to the video that we had in our lecture, in our session on employability, and then you can have you'll see more information about how to prepare. And there are some other videos there which you can watch for learning how to prepare yourself for talking about your skills. Any question before we move on? Okay. I'm going to give you some practical advice and practical kind of points to work on. So first of all, please make an assessment of your current situation. Hopefully, by now, you understand your qualifications and level of language. So you know whether you're level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, and then you know your level of language as well, whether you're entry level, level 1, level 2, or higher. So if not, please go back to the slides, try to figure out what is or where you are on that different levels of education here in the UK. Then, based on that, you need to set some clear achievable goals for the next few months and for the next couple of years. So you need to clearly set your goals of, I need to do my entry 3 English in the next 6 months. Or if you are in level 1, I need to finish my level 1 and start level 2 in the next 3 months or 6 months or a year. Or I need to apply for UCAS by end of January. Or I need to apply for an access course by next summer. So just have these clear objectives and goals so that you can plan for it. Spend some time, especially if you don't work at the moment. So spend your time searching, because you have access to internet and you have your mobile phone, and that's all you need. And then during the last few weeks, I shared with you many websites, many links, and I'm going to do that later in this session as well. So go through those links and try to search for courses, for places, for opportunities, for scholarships, for short courses, for online courses, and try to find opportunities that you can use to improve your position and make your chances for going to university higher. Again, during our sessions, I shared with you many organizations up and down the country who are there to support people with asylum seekers situation or refugees with their education and employment. Please link to these organizations, and if you live in a city where they are there, just go and make yourself known to them and start working with them and start asking for help and support from them. Because if you get help and support, everything is going to be much quicker and much easier for you. Language is important. So in whatever you do, make sure that you continue with learning language. Like I said, if you're not in college course, start your college course as soon as you can. And there are many other charities, community centers, mosques, churches. They provide a language course for asylum seekers and refugees free of charge. So please go and find as many language classes as you can. Try to find friends, try to make links to others, people who can help you. And these are the main points that you need to do in the next. I start with short term. I start with what is the best action for you in the next 3 months. So first of all, learn about opportunities. As I said, search, use your mobile phone, internet, and Google just to search about many courses available for asylum seekers and for refugees. And see what are those options and start some of those options. Improve your language. If you are not in college, go to college. If you are in college 2 days, 3 days a week, that's good, but that's not enough. Try to find a community center who gives you 1 or 2 days of language as well. So if you go to college for 3 days and go into a community center for 2 days, then you have 5 days of language learning, which means you will get to level 2, which is required for university, much quicker. Instead of 2 years, you can get there in 1 year or 1 year and few months. And then start a voluntary job. If you don't work at the moment, the best way of starting your work experience here and also improving your language is to start a voluntary job. And there are many places who would like to have volunteers. And voluntary work is good for you because you practice your English, you speak with others, you listen to them, which improves your language. Also, you will find friends who can help you in finding jobs or going to university. And it's good for you in that you are not alone at home. So you go out, you have some good time with others, and it's good for your health and well-being as well. So the 3 main things: language, voluntary role, and then search for opportunities. The next part, so in the next 3 to 6 months, if you improve your language, if you continue with your voluntary work and add experience to your CV, then you can start looking for university application, because you know that, oh, I'm going to learn more English, I'm going to college. When you finish your college, then you can start your college course or even your university course. And there are many online courses that you can have as well. I'm going to show you some of the links that you can have access to online course. So in the next 3 to 6 months, start thinking about, do you want to go to university? If yes, start the application process. Do you want to go to college first, doing access course or doing level 3 courses, level 4 courses? Then start applying for them. And then hopefully in the next 6 months to a year, you will have more qualifications. So you have your level 2 functional skills, ESOL, work experience. If you have done any college course, you have those courses in the college. So you can add all of them to your CV, to your portfolio, and you can apply for better jobs, or you can apply for university courses. So you are going to see at the end of year 1 how much progress you have made just by being consistent, by learning every day, going to college, or doing a voluntary work, or searching for opportunities. Just by doing that on a daily basis, and how many friends you have found, or the improvement that you are going to see in your English. So these are the main steps, and I would suggest you don't need to do all of them, but at least pick 1 or 2. And if I would to suggest, I would say a voluntary work and as many hours of English courses as you can. For some of you, you are in a better situation in terms of you have your refugee status, you go to college, you already have a good level of English. So for you, start thinking about college or university courses. Okay, so because If you go to college or university, everything would be much easier after that. It's very difficult, especially for young ones. It's very difficult to start a good job or find a good job without having UK qualifications. So I would suggest going to college at least, or even if you can go into university, is very good for your future. So start looking into universities, scholarships, other courses for refugees that you can benefit from. The next one is prepare yourself for university. If you can prepare yourself for IELTS, there are many IELTS courses. Well, I wouldn't say many, but there are some IELTS preparation courses for refugees. If you can have access to them, start preparing yourself for IELTS, start looking into UCAS application process, and for that you need a personal statement. Start work on your personal statement and have someone to support you with your personal statement. Then continue with your UCAS application, find the universities that you want to apply to, apply for scholarships, and hopefully if you continue doing that in 1 year or in 2 years, next year or the year after, you would be able to go to university. And when you start your university, everything is going to change because you will have access to so many different options when you are in university. There are many language courses in university, employability courses, and so on. So going to university is not just about studying nursing or engineering, but it's good because there are so many different types of support available when you are in university or even when you are in college. So that's for people in a more advanced situation. And then there are some people who are planning to apply for postgrad. They have undergraduate degrees from their countries or they have undergraduate degrees from here. Again, you are in a better position because you have your degree. The main thing is you need to prove your level of language. You need to have IELTS for a postgraduate. So think about your IELTS, and there are the rest of the steps. The application process for postgraduate is different. Most of the time you need to directly apply to university that you are interested in studying there. And you need to go through the application process. And then at the same time, when you are doing postgraduate, it's very important to add to your work experience as well. So I would suggest alongside doing your application process, and if you're when you've started your study, always think about experience. And it's similar for when you go to college or for undergraduate. Here in the UK, qualifications are important, but they are not enough. At the same time, you need to start adding to your work experience, and you need to start from somewhere, sometimes from voluntary work, sometimes from an entry-level job that adds to your CV. If you are planning to start working, so you don't have time or you are not interested or you are not in that personal situation to go to university or college, and if you are thinking of starting a job as soon as you can, these are the main points. So you should start with first of all, working on your CV and application and preparing yourself for interviews. You should actively and constantly and every day look for new jobs because every day there are many jobs coming up online. So keep working on your documents, CV, application. If you need help, just reach out to people who can help you. We are here happy to help you with your work application process. If you need someone to help you with your CV or with your job application, prepare yourself for interviews. The main thing about finding job is don't get tired and frustrated because sometimes you need to send, I'm not sure, no one knows how many applications you need to send. Sometimes it's 10, 1, 5, 50, but you need to keep sending applications and applying for jobs until you get your job. So no one knows, maybe the next one is going to be the successful one. So please, if you are in that process of applying for jobs, keep going and don't get frustrated because the next application, the next job could be the one that you are going to have for yourself. So Again, when I send you the slides, please go back through all these options and these kind of roadmap that I suggested. And like I said, you don't need to do all of them. Start small, okay? Just choose one, two, or three, and then do them and continue them every single day. And that's important. If you do it every day, you are going to see the progress in few months. Okay, this is the most important part. I said this before, but I'm going to show that again today. Now, there are many organizations who are there to support people from refugee and asylum-seeking background with their language learning, with their education, and with their employment. And it's important to have support, because without support, life is not going to be that easy and everything is going to take more time. So instead of you searching for opportunities, if you link with those organizations, they will support you in finding those opportunities much quicker, and they can connect you with those opportunities, being training, being employment, being language learning, and so on. Here, we have a list of the main ones, but these are not the only ones. If you search online, you will have more. You can find more. But when you have the slides, if you click on each of these links, you will go to their web page where you can find out more information about what kind of support they can offer and how to reach out to them. So most of them, they have an online application form. You need just to fill that application form, your name, your address, your email address, and then get back to you with more information. Starting from Breaking Barriers, they are supporting refugees with education, employment, training, language learning, CV writing, application forms, and these kind of support. And I think they are in different cities, including London, Manchester, Liverpool, and Birmingham, I think, but they have some online support as well. So if this is something that you're interested in and you need support with, go to their webpage, fill the application form, and wait for them to come back to you for how to know how they can support you. RefuAid, we talked about this in detail before, but they are mainly there to support refugees with language learning. So especially for those preparing for IELTS, RefuAid could be a good way of a good place to go. They can support you with language classes, online classes. They have in-person classes in some cities and towns, but you can just go to their webpage. Again, there is an online application process. You can apply, and they come back with more information about what kind of support they can offer. Refugee Education UK, probably you have heard from them before, but again, if you go to their website, very extensive, comprehensive information about the application process, especially for college. Especially for younger ones, if you need support, the mentorship support, the very good information about different types of scholarships for asylum seekers and refugees. So again, that's mainly about college and university education. If you need information and support, they are there for you to go to. Renacy is about employment, and specifically if you need ESOL support, they have some courses available mainly in London, but I'm not sure, but they may have some online support as well. So, but they are mainly working around employment. ILAT, they have free ESOL courses in London. So if you're in London, you're in need of ESOL, there's the place to go. Groundwork, again in London, they have different types of language and employability support available. Turn is mainly for people who would like to be self-employed. If you have that interest of becoming self-employed and running your own business, they are there to support with just training you how to become entrepreneur and self-employed and how to run your own business. Hope for the Young, again, very good for young refugees and asylum seekers in terms of supporting you with your language learning. They can link you with personal mentors who can support you in your application process. And they have some financial support as well. If you need just a couple of £1,000 for a course or for an exam or preparation for a course, they have some grants and some funding to support you. It's not for everyone. You need to apply for that, and there is a process, an application process, but the support is there, and you can just reach out for more information. ACH, they are in Bristol, Birmingham, and Wolverhampton. If you are there, they have employability and training support. So they have different types of courses to prepare you for jobs that they have training for. And again, English for Action is about ESOL Learning in London. If you click on that, it takes you to the page where you can find English courses. But again, the important thing is you can go to more than one place. Just try to have support from different places. So you can go for employability to breaking barrier. And then if you're in London, go to ELOT for language. And the point is to add as many training as you can so that the process becomes more quicker and less time taking. So instead of 1 day English or 2 days English, try to have 3, 4, 5 days in different places. And by doing that, you can just make it much quicker to get to level 1 or level 2, which you need to apply then for university. I suggested this before. I continue saying that today and every day. It's very important to have the information and knowledge and awareness about the opportunities for refugee and asylum seeking students. And instead of searching for them, instead of spending time for finding the recent information and the latest information, one good way of doing that is by joining mailing lists. And these 4 mailing lists are those that I suggest to everyone in your situation. So please make sure, if you are not already part of that, when you have slides, just click on each of these links here. Okay, the link takes you to the web page for STAR, for RE UK, for Breaking Barriers, and for REN, which is Refugee Employment Network. Add your name and your email address to their mailing list, and every week or every 2 weeks or every month, they will send you an email, and in that email you will have a list of information, opportunities, workshops, scholarships, courses for refugee and asylum seeker students in your mailbox. So instead of you searching hours and hours for them, they come to your email in an organized and structured way. And then you can follow with those opportunities. Okay, so that was this. Do you have any question for me? Anything that I'm going to stop